closing the public portion.
7:57.
This is the only mistake that Dexter has ever made that I remember in minutes was last time. No, that was, I mean, that's it. He is
That's one too
excellent.
many, as my dad would used to say
No, he
growing
is
up.
excellent at writing. He does such a great job.
I'm
with
joking.
the
strict.
best secretary I've
I've
ever
got
had.
lashes on my back to prove it. I'm all joking, just for the record.
In case Dad's listening.
Okay, any corrections, additions? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the minutes as read?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Karen. Okay, all in favor of all the minutes as they are presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Okay, the minutes are passed. Thank you, everyone. Do we have a program or a guest speaker today? Kind of a little bit out of order.
No.
All right, then I'd like everybody to take a look at the financial reports and the action on bills. You should have 4 papers on that. Please read them, see if you have any questions on the financial statements. I don't know about anybody else, but I really like this new format a lot. I think it really works for me.
The long.
Oh, you have the full one, or the,
Yeah, may I have one,
both of
please?
these? Okay, sure. Okay, yeah. All right. How's the new copy machine working, Susan?
Oh, you saw. Beautiful.
It's really amazing.
You put the dollar in. It's
It's like the modern world, right?
compared to that other piece of junk, oh, that was
It's
horrible.
very, very nice.
You had to pray every time you put the paper in it wouldn't disappear. No, this is beautiful.
So now I'll ask the question I always ask almost every month now. So, end of November, looks like actual balance left around 44,500 for the year based on our budget. So from December, we're basically halfway through, comfortable that we won't be north of that amount.
No, because all the big bills are paid this month. So we really have nothing in December.
Good to know.
Yep.
Filling in.
So there will be a surplus?
I don't know, because don't forget, we're taking out the 25,000 from, we're including that. We may not have to use all of it, so.
But the 44 is actually not including the surplus, right? The 44 gets us,
44
This is the
is,
403.
right, it's with the 403, right?
Right.
Yeah.
so 25 doesn't look like we're not going to need.
So
And then,
hopefully we won't need it.
and
That's
then the
great.
44 will have even some,
Maybe.
Surplus.
See, with little faith,
uh,
all year.
No. I mean,
trust but
it's-
verify.
Yeah, that's good, because we'll be in very good shape. You never know when emergencies arise. Yeah. Okay, any questions? Okay, can I have a motion to approve the financials, please?
So moved.
Second?
Second. See
Thank
that glaring
you.
mistake?
Okay, all in favor of the financials being passed, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, financials have passed. Thank you, everyone. Good job, Susan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Michelle.
Good job.
Michelle.
And Michelle.
It's all Michelle.
Good job, both of you, really. That's great to look at. This is feel really good. Okay, any correspondence, Susan?
No.
Okay, I have my president's report this evening, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually read my annual report, so relax, have chocolate. It's going to be a little lengthy, but I wanted to, for the last meeting of the year, yeah, it kind of is, not so bad, but it is a little lengthy. But you'll journey through the year with me, and you'll
Day by
remember-
day.
Day by day, week by week, month by month, and you'll relive our experiences together this year. Okay, so have a
See, Charlene
chocolate.
leaves. Charlene, you can't leave.
Have a chocolate.
She's
pass the
getting a
chocolate
tissue because there's
around.
going to be some tearful moments.
Okay, beginning in January of 2015, we saw a change in trustees with the resignation of Liz Kirsten and the loss of former president Jenny Lichten-Wallner. The board elected new officers for this year: Pat Butler, president; Joe DiOrio, vice president; Dexter Dela Cruz, secretary; and Sanjana Saku, treasurer. The library had the ADA compliant doors installed. In February, we finally settled the Verizon billing issues, and I appointed Dexter to chair a committee to draft a social media policy. Rashmin Sheth offered to join him. We met on February 18th after my distribution of sample policies from other libraries and school districts. On March 18th, after much hard work, Dexter presented the draft for approval. Susan began attending the Citizens Educational Advisory Committee with me in February. This has proved to be a very valuable group for us, which enables us to interact with the superintendent of schools, Pedro Garita, and other faculty members in our school district. I've been the chairman of this committee for the past 4 years. On February 28th, trustees Joe DiOrio and Charlene Story joined me in celebrating Read Across America Day here at the library by volunteering to be guest readers. The board was happy to approve a 2% salary increase for all library employees on April 15th. This is resolution number 115. In April, I also attended a wonderful program by Michael Peterson, his photo safari. Our newly appointed finance committee, Sanjana Saku, Alex Balapan, and Susan Callantone, had their first meeting with CFO Ken Bloom to ask questions and come up with a workable plan for expenditures. I also attended the capital budget meeting with Susan as she presented her long-range capital improvement plans. May brought about the very beginning of the work on the revitalization of the library grounds with the removal of some trees. The entire project ran through several months, with the culmination of this project being the most beautiful tribute to our military on Veterans Day. I feel so fortunate to have had the time to help with the planning and make a donation to the Friends of the Library for this project. In June, I presented information to the trustees on the ALA Trustee Academy webinar courses. I'll do this again in January, which may be taken online to help them become proficient in their roles as trustees. In early June, I learned of a grant being offered to all 21 Union County Public Library municipalities to fund children's services. When I mentioned this to Susan, she had already put it into motion. We received $5,531.12, the second highest bequest of money in the county. On June 22nd, I attended the Magic Show by Joe Fisher, which kicked off our summer reading program, and on August 31st, I attended the end of summer program with certificates. Many trustees also attended both these events. On June 20th, I assisted the Friends of the Library with the townwide garage sale, which raised funds for the library programs. On Thursday, June 25th, I attended the author program with Lauren Kashnowski. Lauren is a Roselle Park resident. When all of us thought we were off for the summer, I needed to call an emergency finance budget meeting on July 15th to introduce a new budget format that would be in place for September. This new format groups together budget items by category with emphasis on the bottom line. All trustees attended this meeting to vote, and at this time, Susan also reported that she had a perfect audit. For Roselle Park Loves Arts Day, the library agreed to be open that Saturday till 5 p.m. In October, the library had a new sprinkler system and a new lawn. I also attended on October 13th the LUC, Libraries of Union County Consortium, reception at the Elizabeth Public Library. Mary Jane Clark, mystery novelist, was the keynote speaker. As I revisited the year, my mind kept going back to the summer reading program theme, Heroes. Every hero has a story. Our library trustees are the heroes. Thank you for being a wonderful group of professionals to work with This has been an exciting and fun year for me. Happy New Year, everybody.
That was wonderful.
And thank you.
That was terrific.
And I have a copy for you.
Good.
And I feel good because Susan just told me she's never had an annual report before from a
Never.
president. So I'm like, this was just in the bylaws. I just did what I was supposed to do.
That was great.
So I'm glad to be
is
the
wonderful.
first, and maybe we'll start a trend here. And also at the end, I just want to thank Sanjana for all of the time and efforts. You were head of the finance committee, and you were always here when we needed you, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And you're such a snazzy dresser.
I was just thinking of that. I was just thinking of
He
that.
is
Now
so
I'm
like
gonna
a little-
take
He wins the best dressed
Yeah.
award that we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. You can't wear a bow tie once in a while.
I'm gonna try.
Did
Well,
you-
maybe some both sides.
Did you want to say
Nobody will look as
something?
good as
I
you.
know it's
Oh,
kind of an
no.
odd, there's really no place in the agenda to do this, so I just
Carries
thought
on.
maybe you would like to say something also to the board.
So, I have something brief, very brief. On January 5th, 2016, I'll be serving on the Roselle Park Board of Education. Therefore, I've decided to resign from being the treasurer of the Roselle Park Veterans Memorial Library Board. In addition, Roselle Park resident Pam Welch Reynoso have expressed interest in being on the board. She sent me a message about that, and I put her phone number here. She would love to be considered for the trustee position. So, last month, I sent to the board, this is for you and this is for the mayor.
Yes, thank you
This is for the
so
mayor,
much.
and this is for Susan.
Thank you.
I'll put it in the file. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So last month, I thought about
You have to sign it.
being, oh yes, okay, I'll sign it. On being on this board and being on the Board of Education, but because of a young family and my job, I thought that it would be too much. So I decide not necessarily to give up this position, but in my role, in my capacity, I don't think it would be fair for everyone else who's always here and everyone else who do the paperwork and vote and take the time out, for me to be doing two things and doing one okay and focusing on another one. So I decided to step down in my position here, and I think, no, matter of fact, I know that it was worthwhile for me because I've been here, I think this is my second year being here, and just to learn about all the things about the board and all of the financial the financial aspects of the library, I didn't know. I didn't know that the budget was nearly $500,000. Those things I just didn't know. You just don't think about those things. I didn't know how much time and effort it goes into a library and its operation, and that's a testament to you. So much I've learned. And I served for a brief moment on the financial committee with Joe, and how much he knows about finance is very impressive. We sat with Ken Bloom over the summer, and that was very informational and informative for me. Dexter also, all the paperwork that he does with me. I've never seen a secretary do the things that he's done. And I think that's wonderful. And everyone else who's been here and worked, I applaud all your efforts. And I'm not just quitting to go away, I'm just stepping down in order to do something else that this board built me up to be. And that's why I am stepping down and stepping away. And so that's all I have
We
to say.
will
So thank all of you.
greatly miss you, and you never know, someday you might be back with us. We might ask you to come back again, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But thank you for everything you've done,
Thank you.
sincerely. And it's been a pleasure getting to know you, too.
Thank you.
You never know, you could be a liaison to the board if Julie wants you to Wednesdays back.
I don't know if a board member, can they do that as
You have
a
to look at the
board
statute.
member?
You'd
So
probably
you
say,
may not
"I'm
be
just-"
gone. No, I don't think, I think it has to be somebody in the school system, not on the board. I don't know, I'm not sure.
So, but just overall, thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of it. It just shows the dedication of the people in this town. Because this is not a paid position. Everyone volunteered their services, and everyone is here every third Wednesdays, and that's just wonderful to see.
Thank you for sharing with us. Appreciate it. And appreciate all your time. And thank your family for sharing you with us. Because that's really what happens to many of us too. Our families suffer just a little bit when we're here. Thank you. Okay, Susan, Children's Department report.
Alrighty. One of the special programs we had in November was the Day of Crayons. Children enjoyed the Day of Crayons Quit and the Day the Crayons Came Home stories by Drew Daywait and Oliver Jeffers, and made a mural-like drawing, which is displayed in the children's room. The Robert Gordon 4th Grade Superstars Project, reference assistance and book selection. 2 4th grade classes from Robert Gordon Elementaries came to the library to work on their Superstars research assignments. She attended a Luck Youth Services meeting, and the focus of the discussion was on Children's Department policies and procedures. And the total circulation for the children's room was $1,665, and the circulations increased by 9.35%. From 1,557 items in November 2014 to 1,665 items this month.
That's great.
Yeah. Actually, we've seen even in the adult circulation an increase. This is for the first time in a long time. So things are looking up.
More students coming in, more children, more families.
Well, that's the whole thing. You know, the schools have been really encouraging the children to come and get library cards. So that's helped a lot. Yeah, and they've made an effort to walk the classes over.
Very
And
nice.
stuff like that, so, yeah, it's really nice. We'd like to see more of it, more of the schools come over. That'd be great.
I'm not positive, but I know that had come up, and just the idea of probably not seeing so close.
Yeah.
An advantage to be able to do that.
Sure. Okay, so that's the children's report, and then I'm gonna add Kit's report. Should I add it with the children?
Please.
Okay. So Kit does her own report, because you know, she's our really she outsources.
Yeah, it's true. Your director's report too.
Right, I have it here. November 20th, 2 4th grade classes came to do reports on their special person. We pulled the books ahead of time so the students were able to spend more time with their research. Library cards were made ahead of time for those who did not have them. November 23rd, flannel board story time, Aliens Love Underpants was read, and the children made paper aliens as a craft. November 14th, she picked up a number of paperbacks from our friend in Union who donates on a yearly basis. There's a woman in Union who has pristine paperbacks, and she goes once a year to pick up like at least 10 bags filled with them. November 25th, put together the crayon kiosk. We have the crayon kiosk downstairs with the chairs for the children's room, and they've been using it. If you look on our website, you see there's a picture of the kids on the crayon kiosk already. And December 2nd, she visited 2 kindergarten classes and read. So she's been going into the schools to read also. Then that's it.
Okay, your director's report?
Okay. We issued last month, 43 new library cards. And our circulation was up 21%. And our total material circulation was 2,383. December 2nd, the town had a meeting set up for all the employees for NJM auto insurance with an auto insurance representative, if anybody wanted to go. Linda Demas and her many helpers made 80 fleece cowls, scarves for the people who need them. We'll be delivering them most of them to the Cansano Center for their pantry, but the rest some of them we'll keep in the library for people in need. And if anybody else knows anybody who needs, or you'd like to put them somewhere, just tell us. We have so many. We have children's. We made a whole bunch for children. We made larger ones for larger people, bigger people, and so we have quite a few. The veterinarian from the Westfield Animal Hospital presented a first aid program for pets, which was fabulous. We must have had 40 people. She brought food. She gave everybody a bag with goodies at the end of it. Wasn't it wonderful? Yeah, Kim was there. She was terrific. So I said to her, anytime you want to do a
That's
program,
great.
we'd love to have you. She brought little
How
wrapped
did you find
sandwiches.
her?
wait a second, Alex Balaban hooked us up.
Oh, that's great.
She was terrific.
Good for him, that's wonderful.
I learned a lot about first aid for pets, too.
That's a great program. I wish I could have been here, but I love the
Yeah, I'd like
idea.
to.
The December book group will be discussing Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. December 3rd, Triad came to inspect the alarm system. It's our yearly inspection. Everything was fine. And like I said, we got the crayon iPad kiosk. It's set up in the children's room. And now we're just going to get headphones added to the individual corrals. December 9th, we had a holiday party at Vintage, staff. The Friends of the Library did a 50-50 raffle, and it took place on December 8th. The winner, Ken Buff, took home a little over $7,000.
Wow.
700.
700.
Oh, 700.
Another one.
All right, so it's 1-0. My goodness, thank you. 700. Now, as I was writing it and reading it, I thought, oh, that sounds like a lot.
Should we look at that financial report?
700. Thank you to, so I'll fix that before.
Don't tell your father, Jackson.
Thank you to all the trustees who helped in the sale of tickets. And I'd like to give a special thank you to Mrs. Endler, who came religiously to the library. We set up a little table and she sold tickets to people.
I encountered her at Town Hall selling tickets to the employees one
Yeah,
day.
she was really, really good. And we wish Sujata, well in his future endeavors. And, and I've sent out emails to those who expressed an interest in joining the trustees in the past. And then there's one thing that I'm not sure if we should do it now with the dates for
Yes.
2016.
Well, we could do it under new business.
Okay, let's do it under new
Why don't we
business.
wait and do that under new
Okay,
business?
and that's my report.
Okay, thank you, Susan.
Susan, last meeting you had mentioned something about bringing somebody in at the furniture
Yes, but after the new year.
after the new year.
Yeah, I think in January would be right.
Okay, thanks. Then we're going to go to the report for the superintendent of school liaison.
Sure. And just, I noticed that in the last month's report, it said no report from the superintendent, and I.
No, I did bring it.
You did?
Yeah, I
Oh,
read it.
Did I?
Remember I read it?
Oh, yeah, you're the one you actually read that.
Yeah, I read it.
Oh, okay.
I'll
I
adjust
brought
that
it.
for you.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I realized I should have brought it up ahead of time.
No,
Okay.
no, I did
All right,
read
I'm
it.
glad to know that
Yeah.
you did get
Do
that.
the minutes need to be amended?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I'll motion that the
Apologies.
minutes
Yes.
that have now been discussed be amended to reflect the submission of the report.
I think I just forgot to, my notes with Susan.
Is there
A second, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. That's okay.
Opposed? Thank you. The
It's
minutes
official.
will be amended and approved as decided by the board.
For this month's report, all of the schools, and I believe you probably mentioned this, are embarking on their reading challenge. And so the different schools have different themes, different ways that they're orchestrating their reading challenge. However, and I know this is very parallel to something that had been brought up before, Mr. Salvo, James Salvo, who is our Director of Curriculum, had posed two questions. One, that the teachers are always looking for additional books for their classroom libraries, being that Robert Gordon is able to come over and borrow, able to come over. I guess they were posing whether there would be a creative way for teachers to borrow sets of books for, I guess, to borrow on their own account, perhaps to take, like, let's say 10 or 15 books for, let's say, a month's term to use in classrooms. Maybe some specifics needed to be worked out about that, but just an idea of teachers being able to borrow a set of books.
So we actually do that. They do.
And it's,
Yeah.
maybe it's something that the teachers in my building are not particularly
Yes.
familiar
How does
with.
that
Yeah,
work,
so they
Susan?
just, well, they would
So-
come here and we would give them a card in one of those Works in Town card. And which is
Employee card.
Yeah, it's like an employee card. And then we would give them a longer period of time to take out books instead of 2 weeks or 1 week that we usually give.
So they're able to take out 10
Yeah,
or
keep them
15
in their,
books.
yeah, because at the end of the year, we usually have teachers that bring back stacks and stacks of books that they have taken out.
So it would give them an extended amount of checkout time and they would be able to take a significant
Yes.
number. Okay, great, I will report that back.
What is it, sorry, what's the name of that card called?
Works in town?
Or an employee.
And the question that he posed that I believe had come up before was, does the library put together a list of new titles that they add on a monthly or quarterly basis? And if the schools weren't aware of the new books appropriate for the elementary or middle or high schools, it would be a great piece to circulate to parents and students. So I guess just a.
I know we discussed that, and we do, we put out a couple of them, but you know, sometimes we get like 100 books each. It's, the only way you could go on our card catalog and put all the books that came in a certain month, and children's, and then you would get a whole list.
What about,
I don't know, I think it's like a,
just an idea, I don't know.
Yeah.
What about if Ellen in her children's department report that she submits to us, what if somewhere in there she could just highlight some of the most popular titles that were purchased that
Yeah,
month?
she could do
And then
that.
perhaps that could just be
or
sent
something that the
to
school might be interested in.
Julie
Sure.
to distribute.
Maybe like the hot titles for that month or whatever it may be.
Sure.
Okay.
And I know Kit's been putting on Facebook our adult titles, the covers.
That's
of some-
also a good way
yeah.
to do it for the children's.
Yeah, we could do that for the
It
children.
would be actually easier to do it on Facebook. We have our policy in place now, thanks to Dexter and his group.
Yeah, that's good.
Go ahead and do that.
We'll
and then
definitely
we can
do
just
that.
pull that and distribute it to people in the district.
So I'll share both of those pieces out. Just as a little bit of detail on the reading challenge that's going on in each building, and I hope that that's certainly impacting the circulation. The middle school is doing one, obviously more age appropriate, spending 20 minutes a day reading in class and required to read independently every night. They have what they're calling a 40-book challenge. In the 3 elementaries, they're rolling out, Robert Gordon is participating in a kindness campaign called Curve It Forward. Each child has a lanyard with 8 dog tags. Each tag signifies an act of kindness. The children pass along them to other students when they witness acts of kindness. In I guess, in companionship with that, they're calling theirs the Minion Minute Reading Challenge.
How cute.
And they are encouraged to read 20 minutes a night, working on building reading stamina, and express gratitude to Miss Kit for coming in to read to the classes.
Nice.
And at Sherman in October, they had a spooky stories reading night for grades 4 and 5. Teachers read scary tales, and which included parents kind of, adding a scary twist to the stories. They raffled off 5 books for students who attended. The guidance counselor, Ms. Halpern, was sharing stories about friendship using a picture book and a kiwi fruit. Oh, the lesson is don't judge a book by its cover. Okay. In December, holiday reading night fun for kindergarten and first grade, rotating through stations to hear different winter or holiday stories. And at Aldine, we're doing what we're calling the bucket list reading challenge, and I brought a copy of it.
I love that. I think that's so cool.
And so they're rolling them out in the language arts literacy program, using these as sort of a bucket list for pieces to include in their read aloud, which is part of the lesson. But as part of the support for the building, I can say I just actually made a video that I sent out to the students that, I shared a book that I liked and just spoke about it for a few minutes and told them, if I were to cross it off on my list, it would be a number 47 or whatever it may be. And I noticed that, back there you have books that incorporate foreign language, and I figured I would share this just so that in the course of maybe thinking about some upcoming displays, maybe you could match some of these
Sure.
topics.
We have that.
You have it, okay,
Yeah,
great.
we've made copies.
Okay.
But I'll take another one.
Sure.
Just in case.
That's great, Julie.
Because I was
Clever.
going to bring this to my grandson's school. He's in elementary school, 4th grade, and show them how wonderful this is. This is such a
Is
great
that
idea.
something that just the reading and language arts coordinator curriculum people, like James Salvo, did they come up with that?
No, actually, this is unique to Aldine. One of our
Oh,
teachers,
nice.
I think, purchased it off of Teachers Pay Teachers or some sort of web. I know that we paid for
Yeah,
the
I
rights
mean,
to
yeah,
use
I
them.
just-
And so all the classrooms have like a 6-foot-long bucket list outside of their door, and the teachers,
Very
cross them
clever.
off when
How
they do them
exciting.
every day. And I don't remember what the prize is at the end of the year. I think it's a promised either a pizza party or a cookie party or something like that for the class that finishes their whole list.
This is wonderful.
It's a great idea.
It's very motivating. The children are very into it. You even heard them talking about, we crossed off number 19 today.
It's exciting,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So, and that's everything. Thank you.
Well, thank you for that. Okay, now we're going to go to our report for our liaison for
Not
Mayor
much to say
Charlie.
right now. The lawn, with the nice weather, we still have the fence up. I've been waiting for it to be snow covered, but it hasn't happened. And I guess our next step will be beginning to work on the furniture and seeing if we can perhaps get some more capital money to move that along or other ways. So now we can concentrate on the inside of the building.
I have to tell you, walking around, the plants look great up there. I mean, even with the weather changes, they look great.
The
It's gonna
benches
be,
look great too.
yeah, but I mean like, holding up well. Like in the spring, we're gonna have motions of color. It's gonna be actually gorgeous. Can't wait.
Yeah, I hope so. This crazy
That
weather
just looks great to me.
makes me wonder.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's about it.
Okay, Sharon, thank you. Officers, reports of officers and standing committees, I don't think we have any at this time. Reports of special committees.
We are gonna, well, we're gonna meet, I think, aren't we, in January or February to go over the budget? January?
What I thought was, and this is just an idea,
Mhm.
and we did this last year, and we waited until January until all the new people and the whole board was in place, and then we selected a
Yeah,
committee.
good.
So if we want to wait to appoint people in January, that might be the way to go.
Perfect.
And then we started working on it, I think, right away, and then had something in place by March.
Good.
So, okay, I'd like to have a motion to move to the public portion of our meeting this evening.
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please? Second. Thank you. The public portion is now open. Are there any members of the public who would like to come up to speak? Please state your name, address, and ask your question. Mr. Magiro.
Jacob McGarrett, 612 Sheridan Avenue, Roselle Park. Just a couple of items. Item number 101, full-time salaries. Now, that's going to be approximately $16,000. And looking at the actual balance of $44,500. And that's only one of two items. The second item was for $4,100 for the consortium, which is going to be due in December. That's $20,000. So what happens if we run out of money? The board runs out of money. What happens? You stop paying bills, or you don't issue checks and they bounce?
The board doesn't run out of money.
Excuse me?
If I may take an opportunity to respond.
I don't hear you.
If I may take an opportunity to respond, the board doesn't run out of money per se. So for example, if the board were to exceed its budget dollars authorized by the mayor and council, it would then spend through its surplus dollars. If there are no additional surplus dollars, the governing body would then, my understanding, would have to pass an emergency resolution to authorize a certain dollar amount to allow it to be expended for the public library. The public library has its own budget line item. Anytime any line item exceeds its available funds, the governing body has the ability to exceed through an emergency appropriation. The emergency appropriation then allows the expenditure to happen in 1 year, but the actual budgeted dollar amount occurs in the following year. So that if there was such an emergency, the board could proceed with the council's blessing. The taxpayer would then pay for it, per se, out of the following year's budget. But essentially, for Roselle Park's purposes, we would have to go through, what's our surplus number? It's about 100,000 something?
I think it's 80.
80, okay. So it would have to spend its budgeted dollar amount that we get from the mayor and council. It would have to expend an additional 80 before we get to the point of going to the mayor and council and saying, oh, we have a problem here. So if there was an emergency, we have the legal authority through mayor and council, not just the library, any department.
And-
We've never done it.
But it's,
I mean, if something, God forbid, were to happen and
It
there
would be an
was,
emergency
Like the roof
situation,
fell
a
off.
true
yeah, we're hit
emergency.
by a tornado.
It would be a
right?
disastrous
Right.
situation,
Crazy.
would be the only thing that would place
Yeah.
it on state.
did that help, Jake? Jake, did that help? Was that helpful? Was that helpful?
It's helpful for everyone else here. It's helpful for me also. I ask questions that perhaps 15 or 20 taxpayers are thinking the same thing. What happens if we run out of money?
Sure.
What happens here? And this nonsense of, well, it's on TV. A lot of senior citizens don't have TV. It's on a computer. A lot of senior citizens don't have computers.
Right.
What other communication do we have for the senior citizens? Simple as that. So that's what is okay with me. Is it okay with the residents, the taxpayers,
Okay.
people that pay taxes? Not that they go out on tax appeals and whatever, they're smart with that.
And then I would just add to that, in reality also, that's why I asked the question, through December 16th, that we're more than halfway through. Obviously, none of, there's no.
Projections look good.
So,
projections.
but yeah, there can be anything, and an emergency could even be held, even in the beginning of the year, where you think you're gonna start forecasting past that amount, right? So,
But there's no indication that that's going to
there's
happen.
no indication, and 14 days left in the year.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other
I was the second
members,
person, so.
any other members of the public who would like to come up to speak? If not, I'd like to have a motion to close the public portion of our meeting. Thank you. Can I have a second? Thank you. Public portion is now closed. Old business. Is there any old business? Susan, anything?
Not old,
business?
no.
New business.
Yes, well, I just thought we'd, because we have to, be part of a consortium, so all the due dates are programmed for books in advance. So I wrote up the dates of the dates that we're closed for holidays. And I just need to have them okay
For the following year, for 2016.
for 2016, yes.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, we usually always have election day off.
Do you have a copy of that?
Yes,
for
I do.
everybody?
I don't know about for everybody.
So that we can see it?
Yeah.
That would be a real good idea. So we can look at it. Just to have it.
There's another
Michelle?
one here.
We have it in the middle, maybe that's where you're thinking it is?
Are
Maybe, yeah, there's a
somewhere
couple.
else?
This is consent.
Thank you,
Page
like
two.
about 10.
Pass it. On the first one. There are 2 pages on that.
Okay. Well, as you can see,
We can't.
well, I know,
They
but
can't see.
if you
That's
could
the
see,
As you will see.
it's all the
It's hard
same.
to envision it, you know?
It's all the same as last year. The exact same thing as the town, as last year's. But the thing is, what I wanted to change was election day. Now, we're a voting place. So
People come in looking for
I
books.
would like to, and because it's a national election, I'd like to keep the library open and keep it as a floating holiday, so that people who worked, instead of having that day off, would have another day off. That's the
I
only
think
thing
that's a
that's
good idea,
changed.
because certainly you do see a lot of people come in, oh, the library's closed.
I know.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
And some elections, there really aren't a lot of people, but the national election's
Yeah,
gonna be
can-
really busy,
Just
so I
wondering,
wanna keep it
Do you have your
open.
2015 dates somewhere?
Yeah, I was-
So we could compare, I think we just need to look at them. Can we have copies of that for
I
everybody?
don't know, right.
You don't know where they are?
Well, I guess I could find them.
But is it basically the
It's
same?
the same thing, it's the
Well,
exact
I
same.
think just to
Put them
look
side
at
by
them.
side, we can just
But
about.
it's easier for people to.
That's why I love you,
see it that
Susan.
way. Yeah, it is.
Sorry.
It's
is a candy baked.
But we do need to see it, and this way we can look
No,
at
so you go
last
side by
year's and
side.
compare them to this year, just to make sure that we're in
Christmas
sync,
Eve,
same numbers,
or-
so that there are no questions later.
So I'm just gonna-
Oh, thank
No
you.
problem, we were open already during our elections.
Yeah, how was it? Was it okay with you? It was a small election, but it.
Only a few people wanted to get past us.
So for the Christmas
And
Day
it's in
one,
a
is that the
separate area,
24th
so
of
if you just
December?
block off that area,
Versus,
there's no big deal.
the 26th, that's the, because,
It's Saturday?
That's a Saturday, so we just closed the whole weekend.
but the eve then is the 24th, right?
Anybody else take copies?
The 24th is Thursday, that's Christmas Eve this year, and then.
No, I was actually, next year,
Next year?
eve is the 24th
Yep.
of December. Sunday is the 25th. So what you're automatically off, and I guess you're saying the 26th we'll take as
Well,
Christmas?
no, I don't know, let's see, next year is,
It's, you know, just in general, even is one day before. But,
Yep. Next year, the 24th is a Saturday.
agreed, so I think that's the day you want to take off, 24th?
no, the
26th.
24th, we would be off for Christmas Eve. I think
So
she
no-
meant the 24th.
Yeah, 24th for the eve.
Well, let me ask you the question. Would you be open on a Saturday if it wasn't a holiday?
Yeah,
We would.
but we close, like holiday weekends. Like, for instance, Thanksgiving, we close the whole weekend. It saves cost, and nobody comes out. So, here, you can move this around.
Thank you.
Yep, it's okay.
We usually go by what's on the town website. So, I'm not sure if she didn't mean that December 23rd, she meant December 24th
24th.
for Christmas Eve
Yep.
instead of the 23rd.
Okay.
Yeah, this can
And then,
Then the Monday for the Sunday.
well,
Okay, I'm going to just say something. I think that there's a lot of confusion here, just in time. I'm just wondering if what we should do is just wait until January, have everything together, look at this, and any changes you need to make, Susan, in what you're doing, change it, and then present it in January for a vote. What do you all think about that idea?
Yeah, I think so.
okay.
Well, the only thing I would recommend is you would have to adopt January.
January,
holidays.
right, that would be the only difference, be the month of
So
January
officially
now.
adopt, yeah.
Just because they will be meeting again in January, it'll be our next meeting. So if you just want to look at the January 2016, we can maybe vote on that date now, and then wait till everything's together and changes right for the next.
Well, I think that really the only thing that has to be changed would be December 24th, right?
We should put the 23rd.
May 29th is a Sunday. So that's not really applicable.
Unless you want to just take the time and,
Yeah, I
Go
think
over it.
that's good.
How do you all feel? Like, just take the
Yeah,
time, let's just
I think
vote on
we'll have to,
January, look at
yeah.
it again, side by
Okay.
side, we'll have
Yeah.
side by side soon, and then, with the exact dates and the exact holidays, and then we can vote on it as a group real quick, probably. Okay. Now, you want to look at January 2016.
I motion that we adopt January 1st and 18th of 2016 as official library holidays. Second.
Okay.
All
Let's
in
have a
favor,
vote, please, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Opposed? No, that's good, opposed, okay.
Yeah.
All right, then the January schedule for 2016 has passed, and we will vote on the other dates.
Yeah,
We'll
my,
meet again in
my
January.
other question would be whether March 25th should be on this list.
I know, there's a lot of
So
questions
there's,
on that too. I'm just
March
thinking
25th, May 29th, and then
Well, that's
December
what the-
23rd. Those are the three dates that I think are,
Well, it's December 24th. She
well,
meant.
yes, wait a minute,
Yeah.
right. But I mean, those would be the three to be looked at.
It happens when you're looking at the calendar.
Yeah, they're all the ones that are in the town. That the town meeting.
Well, May 29th is a Sunday, so
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not too
Yeah, I
worried.
think, yeah.
right.
I mean, those are the things, we
Just
just
double
have to
check.
go
Okay,
over.
yeah.
Right. And if we have it all side by side, and even in small format is okay, then we can really just look at it together as a
Okay,
group and vote.
great.
But our January holidays have passed, so that will be probably here. Any other new business?
Yes, Madam
I love that box. I gotta see what this is.
I
Is it a live
A
animal?
part promotion, a part request. Thos got this idea from a couple of folks, but one in particular was a program that was run through the schools, Operation Gratitude. A resident had approached the Board of Education as a result of the question about Veterans Day, whether the children were off on Veterans Day or not. And the idea started from that, where the kids wrote to servicemen and women overseas, thanking them for their service. This has a little bit of a different angle in that we're branching out to the community, and what THOTS is asking for is a focus on the men and women that are in nursing homes, the veterans that are in nursing homes, in particular Menlo Park is one of them, the closest one, or in hospitals for an extended care. THOTS's dad served in the Army for 20 years, and his last couple of years, he spent quite a bit of time in the VA hospitals down in Maryland. And his last year, he spent in nursing care at the Veterans Facility in Havre de Grace, near Aberdeen, near the Aberdeen Proving Grounds. And I can attest too, they took great care of him. One of the things that Thos and his brothers, because his brothers are also musicians, or past musicians, they had asked to perform for the men and women that were in the nursing care, but unfortunately his father had passed away. He had dementia that progressively got worse. So, as a sort of a conversation about that, he's asking the community to get involved, and I have a quick flyer here, basically to put boxes in various places around the community, where if residents want to write a simple thank you in a card, in a letter, they could drop it off. And it gives guidance as far as how to write the letter, try to make it positive and uplifting, and focus on remembering that that your service was not forgotten. When he visits Menlo Park's nursing care, veterans care, he's going to be performing there, volunteering his time. He's going to take the letters with him. So we would like to know if the library would sponsor a box.
Sure, but is this for children?
No, no. Well, it can be. It can be. It can be any book.
Now,
Where
it's
the
just
original
for random people that they're sending things to?
Yeah. So the flyer gives some guidance. The community can expand it to children. It's not specifically, whereas the first program was specifically, targeting children and providing educational means to remind kids about, hey, there's folks that are there protecting our liberties and our democracy. Here we're going to the point where THOTS is asking residents in general just to thank them. But if a class of students wants to take it on as a project, that's wonderful also. There's a couple of locations already. Joe and Jody's is doing sponsoring a box. My mom's place at Rio Deli is sponsoring a box. Of course, anyone could drop it off at our home. So we just want to get the word out there.
And you're going to pick these up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can a student draw a picture and then write a comment?
Sure.
Something like that for the school, for
Sure.
younger children,
It could
like
be,
to write
we
to a
could
veteran?
drop past the flyer around. I'll take a look at it. Hey, you want to
Yes,
for
Ms.
copies?
Kelly. That's great. Yeah, the copies
Yeah,
are
that
right
was-
here too. Thank you.
What's that?
That was good, I was thinking the same thing.
You're so good,
That's great.
Make 20.
I'm going to make a box for the museum.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if
That'd
anyone
be
needs any
perfect at the
boxes.
museum.
Yeah, it sure
Right.
would.
He will be performing, it looks like January 30th. So if this is successful, it'll be on a rolling schedule, but right now, that's sort of the target date where we'll pick up the letters.
Where is he performing?
The Veterans Nursing Home in Menlo Park. I didn't realize, but when he contacted them, they have over 300 beds there. It's huge. They took good care of his dad, and he wanted to sort of extend that gratitude out to here.
It's a good letter writing opportunity for students to practice letter writing, huh? Okay.
She's like, oh,
I know,
another
she's so
one.
excited about it.
That's why it's
We
not
like
a
that.
mandatory
It is really-
thing, it's
it
just
is fun.
fluid
And it
wants
could
to
be a
take it on.
picture too, to the
They-
veterans with the little staplers.
I looked through the responses that first initiative garnered, and it was amazing. Not only certainly the pictures that some of the younger ones did, but even just, you could tell that they were also incorporating some of the lessons that were learned on Veterans Day, which also showed me that in terms of educating, that the teachers were doing a good job of representing the importance, and that the students were able to, I think, authentically put that into their letters.
Thanks.
And then lastly, I believe my term expires at the end of the year. So I wanted to thank the board. I'm not resigning, but it may be a point where I may not be reappointed. I'm not being critical of that, I'm a realist. So with that being said, if I'm not reappointed, no hard feelings. Well, politically, listen, I'm being very frank. If for the reason is you have someone else in mind, so be it. And Charlie, I'm looking at you directly. I don't mind that.
I have no idea who has, I've heard that a lot of people are interested in this, but I don't really know. I'll be
Right.
honest with you, I don't know.
Right. But what normally happens is when an appointment, and granted, I was mayor, so I've been on the other way, so that's why I'm being a realist. But what I've also realized too is that folks don't have the opportunity sometimes to say, hey, thanks for serving, and having the opportunity to say it to their faces rather than, sending a letter.
Right.
So I want to thank, if I don't return, I want to thank the board for all the years of service to this, and Susan's smiling, I know she's smiling. And we've had a love, not so love relationship over the years, but I think
Oh,
at
you'll
the
be
end
back,
of
just to
Just
annoy me.
the But you never know.
No, I'll be back.
But that being said, if you ever need any of my knowledge or assistance, it's always there and available. And any assistance that through the nonprofit that we started, if we could be of any help in any way, through Roselle Park 24/7,
Oh.
we would also extend our assistance that way too. So, and thank you, Michelle, because I know you've put up with different versions of the documents and all that, all the years of making changes, improvements and such.
Well, I need your help with that, so we'll be back.
Thanks. And call upon me if I'm not, but either way, I appreciate the time.
Thank you. And I have to say, I would not have thought to say, please do not use glitter.
You know what? That's interesting, you should mention that.
It sticks them all together.
Well, no, I understand it, but I wouldn't have anticipated it coming up to be a problem.
You know what, Charlene, I found that on one of the websites, I think it was on Operation Gratitude. And when you think about it, children would like to put glitter, and all of a sudden you open, well, it's just what it is. So.
Yes, I know kindergarten teachers who say when all else fails, bring out the glitter.
Yeah.
And Joe, you weren't here last time, I think, but I'm in the same, my term expires in December too, so I won't go through the same discussion I went last month, but
Will you send your, I think, well, I guess nobody has already, because I know you sent in your letter early. And you need to, yeah, and by the way, if anyone else brings that up to you, just ask them to contact the clerk's office or contact the mayor, for a letter and a form if anyone is interested, because it has to go through, it has to go through the procedure, so on. So that's what they need to do.
Yes. Makes sense.
Okay, other new business, Susan had down limited library hours the week before
Oh,
Christmas.
yes, yes.
And that's kind of the most important pressing thing.
And that's before
I thought you
Christmas.
were leading us there before,
Oh, no, I
but
forgot about that.
that's
right.
okay. So I'm here to remind you.
Good. No, the week between Christmas and New Year's, we're only open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and it's normally extremely dead. And last couple of years, we closed at 5, those 3 days, so.
So you're talking about, just so we all know, Christmas falls on a Friday this year. So Saturday you'll be open, the 26th?
No, we don't open.
Then the 27th is Sunday, of course, we're not open, but then the 28th is Monday?
Yeah.
So what would the normal schedule be what was the schedule this year for?
Well, it'll be 10 to 8 on Monday,
Okay,
and 10 to 8 on
Tuesday and Wednesday
10 to 5.
10 to 5. And then Thursday is
Closed.
New Year's Eve, so you'll be closed New Year's Eve, okay. And of course, closed New Year's Day,
Yes.
right? Okay. So we just need to vote on that and approve that, correct?
Yes.
Any other changes?
That's
that
it.
week?
Just
Okay.
that week.
Everybody understand that, what we're talking about? Without
Good
seeing
mood,
it?
so.
You may not,
Can you
we're
just
gonna be
repeat that
back.
just for my benefit?
Not that lucky.
Yes, I'd be happy to repeat that for you next year. Okay, so the 24th and the 25th will be closed.
As we did before.
New
Yep.
Year's, as we had before, which is Christmas Eve and then Christmas Day. And then Saturday, we're closed the 26th, the day after Christmas, correct?
Yeah.
Sunday, we're closed, naturally, because we don't have hours on Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are the normal hours of operation.
Monday and Tuesday would be 10 to 8. Wednesday would be 10 to 5. So we'd make it 10 to 5, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
So the changes,
Only
make it
10 to
because
5.
it's
No,
silly
that's
to
fine. I-
have
I-
With
staff.
no evening hours.
no, I just want to understand the change, so I think the
I
only
do
change
too, yeah.
is less than 5, Monday,
And we'll get
Tuesday.
that up on Facebook.
Yes, and we did it,
So
we've
people
done it
have
for
a
the
little-
past 4
have a
years.
little, yeah, but just to remind
Yeah.
people.
And a flyer will be put out so that they'll know that. and we'll-
Yeah, we'll put signs all over the place.
Okay.
But nobody comes in anyway those nights.
I was going to come in,
No, you weren't.
You're gonna make a special
He
one
was.
at 5?
He told me he was, so.
but, and this might be an opportunity, then let's just schedule it when we do the calendar for the year, right? Just-
Well, we can't
Yes.
because we're
We'll
coming up.
But we'll
It's coming
schedule
up
it
No, no, I meant
next
just
year.
next year.
For
is-
next
Oh,
year.
yes,
so
all right.
It's not an
I've already
exception.
listed it on
it's
my
a
agenda.
plan.
So
Yeah.
Okay,
you know
list of 5 o'clock.
I'll do that for January. We vote on it, so
In
we have it in
January.
place.
You know what, why not, this is a parting suggestion.
Yes.
When you make the changes for, you know, some like corrections that need to be made on that list, put on the bottom, the hour changes for the following year, so we're not in the same situation
Okay.
next year. You just get it all
A
done in
little
one
like
shot.
little asterisk.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are the hours of these days.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
It's adopted ordinance.
Okay, then can I have someone please make a motion to adopt those hours as were stated
So moved.
for this year? Second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so then those hours and changes will take place. Okay, any other new business? Our next meeting date is January the 20th. I just want to say to all of you, you are my heroes, and I thank you for everything you've done. I don't know who's going to be with me in January back here at this table, but I do know that if you're not here at this table, I do know
somewhere.
that, well, give me a chance, guys. I do know that we'll make contact somewhere in
There's a table
town. And I just want to thank all of you, everywhere, anywhere, and to thank you all for all your time and your service. I mean, it's just incredible.
Well, thank you, Pat.
Couldn't
You
do it
have
without you
done
guys,
a tremendous job, and I think we all appreciate the work that you put in.
Very well. It's been a lot of fun. So I hope to see everyone back here. But Sajada, good luck to you on the Board of Ed. I'm going to really miss you, but I know we'll be in touch.
Yes.
Because we are history people, and we've done some research on your house and your town, and
And-
anytime you need me for that, I'm here too.
Yes, my street. We're having the same block party again this year.
Great,
Next year.
great, invite me. That was
Sure.
fun.
And Pat, thank you for your leadership. My apologies, I didn't mention that during my little diatribe.
It's all about you.
It's all about you. No, because I've served through many different folks in the leadership position, and it's incredibly challenging, especially when you want to implement change and you've taken that head on, and you've dedicated the time to do that too, so
Thanks,
thank you
Jeff.
for that.
And thank you for being my motion man. Right next to me. And he's helped me through a lot of this, because these were the first meetings I ever ran, really, as president. So it was a learning experience for me, too, with all of you, and you've all helped me out. So I thank you. Have a very happy holiday with your families. Happy New Year, and I'm going to see you all around town. I know it.
Well, we'll all be back.
And please come to me,
Sajada.
Always there.
Make sure you sign these.
Can we get official
And
adjournment?
also, did you
Oh,
sign the
yes.
checks?
Can I hear a motion to have the meeting adjourned, please? I'm sorry. Thank you, Dexter.
Second.
This is why I need you guys. Second, please, on the
Second.
adjournment. Thank you. Meeting is now adjourned.
All right.